Your thumb stops over the group chat. The screen feels colder now. Your stomach drops before you think. Did something just turn against you? You have not even moved, but the whole mood already feels different. A reply gets shorter, a joke lands flat, eye contact slips away. The meeting moves on without you. You feel yourself getting smaller in real time. It feels personal because it sounds like rejection. And the hard part is how fast that feeling arrives. Before you even know the facts, you start bracing. Before you explain anything, your body already tightens around it. You reread the same line. You check the same face. You start looking for proof in small, quiet things. You notice how quickly your attention narrows. Why does one shift in tone seem to stain the whole day? Because the mind hates unfinished social meaning. At your desk, you drag the chat thread up and down with one finger, watching the blue-white screen glow over the keyboard. Nothing new appears, but you still scan it like a crime scene. Not because the message was huge, because silence makes you guess, and guessing makes everything feel closer to your skin. Sometimes it is dislike. Sometimes it is distance. Sometimes it is bad timing in a hard tone. From the inside, all of it can sting in the same place. In the office kitchen, the steel kettle catches the strip light as you say good morning. They nod without looking up. That should be small. It should pass. But now your coffee tastes different, and half your mind starts following that one quiet, flat second. Was that really about you? This is where the private verdict begins. A private verdict is the fast, secret sentence you hand yourself. They were cold, so I must have dropped in value. They were brief, so I must have become a problem. It sticks because it feels immediate, neat, and personal. But here's the strange part. Other people are often moving inside stories you cannot see. Rent, deadlines, shame, fatigue, another conversation from an hour ago. Yet your mind puts you at the center of the signal. Why? Because your own name is the nearest thing in reach. At dinner, you lift a paper cup and watch the thin rim bend under your fingers while the table breaks into side conversations. Nobody insults you, nobody asks you to leave, but the timing never opens. You laugh half a beat late, then stop trying. On the way home, you do not remember the food. You remember the quiet effort. The hard part is not one cold moment, it is what you make it mean. A small social bruise can spread because your mind keeps pressing on it. You replay it while answering emails. You carry it into the next room. It feels personal because it sounds like rejection. You share an idea in the meeting. The dry marker rolls near the whiteboard tray while everyone stays neutral. 5 minutes later, someone else says almost the same thing. Now it gets nods. The room has not announced a verdict. But inside you, a verdict is already underway. And this is where it changes. Being disliked and feeling misplaced can look identical from the inside. That confusion can make one awkward room feel permanent before you notice. Late at night, you pinch outward on a group photo, the glass screen bright in the dark apartment, and search your own face before you notice anyone else's. You check who leaned together. You check where your body landed. You check whether your smile looked borrowed. The photo starts feeling like evidence, and suddenly the whole evening feels rewritten. You open a draft reply and let the cursor blink over the warm gray laptop keycaps. Then you soften the sentence. Then you soften it again. Not because you suddenly found new kindness, because you want to remove the mark. When dislike feels personal, repair starts before facts do. You are trying to clear a stain no one confirmed. A bad opinion hurts. Unclear standing hurts more. If someone simply dislikes your taste, that can stay local. But when you do not know where you stand, the feeling spreads into voice, posture, memory, and tomorrow morning. That is why tiny moments start feeling so large. The mind would rather have a harsh answer than an open one. The amber traffic pole reflects on the rain-dark sidewalk as you replay one awkward exchange from 3 hours ago. You were not attacked. You were not cursed. But one face closed a little early, and now your whole personality feels on trial. Why does the mind do that? Because a partial signal invites a total story. At a family table, your spoon taps the edge of a ceramic bowl after someone makes a teasing comment and everyone laughs a little too easily. You smile with them. You keep eating. The scene moves on. But later, when you stack plates by the sink, that small moment comes back sharper than it was. Not because it was the loudest part, because it found a tender place. Some people do not dislike you. They just do not move toward you. Their style is closed. Their timing is crowded. Their warmth is saved for other rooms. That quiet distance still hurts, but it is not the same as a full judgment of you. Can you feel the difference once the sting settles a little? And this is where it changes. The pain is often less about hatred than about uncertainty. If someone openly dislikes you, at least the shape is clear. But quiet distance keeps asking for interpretation. And interpretation can turn one person's mood into your identity. That is a heavy job for one moment to carry, isn't it? At the gym sign-in desk, the rubber wristband sticks slightly to your palm while the instructor greets the regulars by name and gives you a quick, efficient smile. Nothing cruel happens. The class starts, but your chest goes careful. You measure every move. By the time you leave, you are already telling yourself they marked you, so you may never come back. But that's not the real reason. One local signal starts acting like a full map. A moment becomes a label, and the label starts steering you for the rest of the day. That is the trap inside the private verdict. Once the verdict lands, your attention becomes biased toward proof. The folded receipt in your coat pocket, the delayed reply, the shorter goodbye, the face that brightens more for someone else. You stop testing other readings. You start collecting marks. The story grows because your attention keeps feeding it. Then a strange thing happens. The next day, one person is normal with you. Another is kind in passing. Nothing becomes beautifully resolved. But the total story weakens. The mark was never as global as it felt. It was only loud because it landed close. How many times has that happened after a long night of guessing? This does not mean every sting is imaginary. Sometimes someone truly does not want you near them. Sometimes the vibe is real. But even then, their reaction is still one angle, one preference, one limit. It is not a final reading of your whole shape. It says something about fit. It does not say everything. The quiet part is that being disliked touches an old fear fast. Not the fear of pain alone. The fear of becoming easier to dismiss. The fear of losing your place without warning. That is why even minor moments can feel like they reach your center. Why else would such small scenes keep echoing and keep leaving a mark? So maybe the feeling is honest even when the conclusion is too big. A cold signal is only a moment. It is not a full reading of you. Some distance is real, some of it is projection. The mind does not always separate those cleanly, and that is why it feels personal, even when it isn't entirely about you.